Good day everyone, my name is Hazel Joy A. De Los Santos, the assigned reporter for today's. My report is the continuation of Miss Angeline Luntuk's report, which is Chapter 7, Globalization and the Millennials. Before we start, allow me to challenge all of you by answering my prepared motivational activities. In this activity, you have to guess what is the word behind the pictures, and after that, you will add the letters or words beside all the given pictures. Since my report is recorded, I just give you 10 seconds to answer in your mind. Here is my prepared motivational activity. So time's up. Let's proceed. Number 1 answer is historical. Number 2, globalization. Number 3, economic. Number 4, privatization. Number 5, import and export. At lahat ng words na ito ay matatakal natin sa aking report. Let us start. Historical background of globalization. The progress of industrial revolution in the 20th century was accompanied by a replacement of the police state by a welfare state. The state came to be an active actor in the economic life of the society. In the socialist states, state ownership of means of production and distribution became the rule. State-controlled command economies were operationalized and regarded as the best means for rapid socio-economic developments. In several other countries, nationalization of key industries and enterprise was undertaken with a view to provide goods and services to the people. State began performing several socio-economic functions. Several other new states adopted mixed economic model. Ownership and control over key industries was entrusted to the public sector. It was deemed essential for securing a better mobilization of resources and for providing better services to the people. State regulation of economy and industry was practiced and the public sector was patronized by the state. Private sector was given a lesser role in the economic system. However, the experience with the working of command economy and mixed economy models was found to be inadequate, slow, and unproductive. By 1980s, economies of socialist countries began collapsing. In 1990s, the world witnessed the collapse of socialist economies, in particular the Soviet economy and the political system. In 1991, USSR suffered the disintegration. The weaknesses of all socialist economies became fully clear, and all socialist countries began witnessing a process of overthrow of socialist system. Liberalization of politics and economy came to be recognized as the necessity of the day. All countries of the world began realizing the merits of the market economy, free trade, privatization, liberalization, delicensing and deregulation of trade, industry, and business. In 1991, the several states decided to go in for liberalization of economy. A new economic policy was formulated and implemented with an emphasis upon new economic reforms. These were governed by the principles of liberalization, privatization, market economy, free trade, deregulation, and delicensing. These reforms paved the way for initiating the process of liberalization and globalization in several states' economy. Similar changes were adopted by other states including the Philippines. At the international level, all the states agreed to freely develop financial, business, trade and industrial relations among their people. Adoption of new trade and tariff agreement leading to the establishment of World Trade Organization was made. Globalization became the role of the day. Salient features of globalization. Number 1. Liberalization. It stands for the freedom of the entrepreneurs to establish any industry or trade of business venture within their own countries or abroad. Number 2. Free trade. It stands for free flow of trade relations among all the nations. It stands for keeping business and trade away from excessive and rigid regulatory and protective rules and regulations. Number 3. Globalization of economic activity. Economic activities are governed both by the domestic market and the world market. It stands for the process of integrating the domestic economies with the world economy. Number 4. Liberalization of import-export system. It stands for liberalization of the import-export activity involving a free flow of goods and services across borders. Number 5. Privatization. Globalization stands for keeping the state away from ownership of means of production and distribution, and letting the free flow of industrial, trade, and economic activity among the people and their corporations. Number 6. Increased collaborations. Encouraging the process of collaborations among the entrepreneurs with a view to secure rapid modernization, development, and technological advancements is a feature of globalization. Number 7. Economic reforms. Encouraging fiscal and financial reforms with a view to give strength to free trade, free enterprise, and market forces of the world. Globalization stands for integration and democratization of the world's culture, economy, and infrastructure through global investments. Effects of globalization on state functions. In the era of globalization, the functions of the state began undergoing a change. With the increasing disinvestment of public sector, privatization was encouraged. Public sector was made to compete with the private sector, and as a whole open competition, free trade, market economy, and globalization were practiced. The role of a state began emerging as that of a facilitator and coordinator, in place of an owner and controller. In fact, the process of globalization involves a change in the role of the state. However, this does not in any way mean readapt of laissez-faire or reversion of the principle of the police state. Globalization has necessitated a change in the role of state. The state continues to be a welfare state performing all the protection functions as well as several social functions. It continues to act as a facilitator and coordinator of economy. The state continues to act as a welfare state, a natural and necessary institution performing protection and social welfare function with some role in protecting and improving economic life of the people.